Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Honda City Hybrid. But before we reach this car, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve Elements Pro Silver. You can see the packaging, which is nice and elegant and definitely feels super premium as well. The aroma is a nice luxury rich silver one, which obviously makes the cabin smell really fresh and nice as well. Anyways, straight away to the car, let me open the engine bay of this vehicle, and there you can see there is orange high voltage cabling. There is the engine and there is insulation here, of course. Now certain changes have been done to this car. For starters, you get this blue tinge on the Honda logo. There is mesh here. Earlier there wasn't mesh. Okay, and rest remains more or less the same. But okay, it gets this claw around the fog lights. Meanwhile, the headlight now gets automatic high beam assist, which is able to switch from high beam to low beam at night so that it does not blind oncoming traffic. Meanwhile, it gets a camera here for the ADAS function. Yeah, that's right. It has got 5 functions for the ADAS, which we will talk about once we are driving the car. It does not get a radar, by the way. The wheels are the same as before, 185, 55, 16, and from the side you don't even realize anything has changed because it's more or less the same. Coming to the rear of the car, again everything remains more or less the same, but it says HEV Hybrid Electric Vehicle. This is based on the ZX trim, doesn't get the RS trim in India. Again, the blue tinge on the Honda logo. You get this nice subtle lip spoiler as well, which is not so visible in red, that is, and carbon finished diffuser treatment there, which is kind of not needed. There is the exhaust, which is hidden, of course. Let's do one thing, let's open the boot, okay, which has reduced in size from 506 liters to I think around 410 liters to accommodate the lithium ion battery. So the battery is somewhere here, okay, यहाँ पे कहीं तो डाली हुई है. It has to be cooled, but the size of the spare wheel is like small, 135, 80, 15. Yeah, they had to like have some space for the battery, of course, which has to occupy quite a bit. Anyways, let's get to the rear. The good news is, or rather the good news has always been, there's always been good amount of space at the rear with the Honda City. So yeah, I think it's one of the best seats in the segment. Good amount of leg room, good amount of knee room, the right recline angle as well, and you get a center armrest with twin cup holders. The only disappointing part is that all the headrests are fixed. None of them are adjustable here, and you get power outlets, but this car unfortunately does not get USB-C. Come on Honda, USB-C is very important. Now there's this vent here for the cooling of the lithium ion battery, which is the different thing in this car when compared to the regular City. And it also gets rear disc brakes because it really needs it now. Regenerative braking is also added. It gets Honda sensing, for which there's a button which has been added right here, and it has got request sensors on the front doors, which works fantastically well. If you're close to the car will automatically unlock. If you go away from the car will automatically lock. So I think one of the best ways of doing keyless entry. Meanwhile, the seats are really very nice and comfortable. I really like them. And when we step inside, I realize everything is more or less the same. So let's shut the door. Yeah, let's turn off the lights and hazard light off. Now this infotainment system is an 8-inch unit. I think some updates have happened to it, but it's more or less the same as before. It's not that great a unit, unfortunately, and I think Honda really needs to work on the infotainment system, because in bright daylight you can't see much. Obviously it gets Honda's lane watch, which is this. Yeah, camera quality could be a lot better. This is so flimsy. Now check this out, okay? You can just like play with it, like so flimsy. Better quality was expected. And here is the tag, which I just put it on the mirror of the car. Yeah, that's it. That's so easy. I just remove the spray and just spray it twice. That's it. Twice. And the car feels so fresh and nice. I love this car perfume. It just works so well in, cars like the Honda City. Anyways, there's some space here because it gets an electric parking brake now. So the handbrake is gone. So there's some storage space here, but it does not get a wireless charger. There's an auto hold function here. And it does not even get wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity. It gets those, but not wireless. Okay, now air conditioning controls are easy and nice. Air conditioning works really well on this car. but that's about it. Okay, they have also updated tachometer is Tata bye bye, and you get this power and charge meter, and there's plenty to check into this because you obviously get eco drive meter and also a power flow which shows you how the power is flowing in this car, range and fuel. Some of these things are the same as before, including the G meter, but besides that, yeah, certain things have changed in this particular instrument cluster. It's an easy to read unit. So this 7-inch is the digital part, but pata nahi chala the digital kya hai, analog kya hai, because it's been so well merged. You've got new buttons on the steering wheel. Now this is for the lane keep assist, and this happens to be for the adaptive cruise control mein jo distance maintain karni hai, and this is for the adaptive cruise control. So certain changes have happened for the better, but yeah, the cabin is the same as before, which means quality levels are good, but lower down are plenty of hard and shiny plastics. So that's something which could have been improved. But yeah, that's about it. Let's do one thing. Let's start driving. This was the shortest walk around like ever. Alright, first and foremost, air conditioning off. We get into drive mode. Handbrake down, lane watch on, traction control off as well, left foot on the brake. Before that, we also need to change the cluster mode so that I can see the power flow. Right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, revs the bit, and yeah, no wheel spin at all in this car. But the thing is that performance is very linear. You would expect that, okay, because it sort of works like an electric car. It will give you that rush, that torque rush of an electric. No, it doesn't happen here. Around the corners, of course, it's a joy because it's a Honda City at the end of the day. A little bit of wheel spin here. And this uses a 1.5 litre Atkinson cycle DOHC I VTEC motor, which by the way produces 98 PS of power and 127 Newton meters of torque. Now it has got two electric motors. One is for the electric generator and the other is the propulsion motor. We'll come to the details of how that works in a bit, but let me tell you that the electric motor produces good amount of power, 109, which is 109 horsepower, PS, whatever, something similar. And okay, there's a bump, so we'll just slow down because yeah, soft suspension gets that done. And the torque output is 253 Newton meters, which comes in at 0 RPM and stays there till 3000 RPM. 253 Newton meters between 0 to 3000 RPM. That is from the electric motor. But okay, it is activated road departure mitigation and saying steering required. So ADAS functions will test in a bit. It just turns off the ADAS functions if it thinks that, you know, एक बार तुमने सही से नहीं किया, बस बंद कर देते हैं. Quitting from this right away. That is the way this car is like, you know, मैं निकल जाती हूँ. Anyways, now coming to the overall output, I think it's 126 PS of power, and the torque output is obviously 253 Newton meters because the electric motor makes that peak torque. But it's very interesting, and yet it's very complex the way this whole system works. Okay, first and foremost, the engine does not power the front wheels at all. Okay, the engine it's so funny because it's unbelievable how Honda is able to think of such tech. You know what? A regular engine has around 40% loss. So Honda decided rather than the engine powering the wheels, let's do one thing, let the electric motor power the wheels. The bad road, but yeah, not a problem. So when that happens, basically what is happening is that the engine using the electric generator is charging the battery. Okay, now look at the smartness of this. So when this happens, the loss, which was like expected to be around 40%, reduces dramatically to around 5%. The result is that the electric generator is producing 95 PS of power. Okay, the engine is producing 98, which when being used to charge the battery and all that stuff, the output becomes 95 PS, which is fantastic, which is again to charge the battery because that is like a integrated starter motor. And then there's the electric motor, which obviously produces its own power and torque, and this is a strong hybrid, not a micro hybrid or anything of that sort. That's the reason it can give you very efficient driving dynamics, or driving feel actually, not dynamics. Okay, dynamics have gone for a little bit of a toss because of the additional 127 kgs because of the lithium ion battery. The result is performance is quite linear. It doesn't have that get go of an electric car or something of that sort, but very smooth and refined performance. In fact, you know what, Honda claims it will reach 100 kilometers per hour under 10 seconds, which I think is kind of optimistic. But you know, once you cross 120 kilometers per hour, that is when the engine directly powers the wheels. And then it has got three modes basically. One is the EV mode, wherein when you're driving it very sedately, it will be only on battery power using the electric motor. But you know, most of the times it works in hybrid, wherein the engine as well as the battery both work in conjunction to give you the drive. And then in case you happen to be a drinker and you drink all the juice from the battery, then it goes on pure engine mode. But it's unbelievable how the system works, because the engine is not powering the wheels only na. So वो पूरा system ही बदल दिया यहाँ पे Honda ने. Like they've taken and changed the whole game, which makes this car super efficient. Claim mileage 26.5 kilometers per liter, which is absolutely insane crazy mileage. Like 26.5 kilometers per liter makes it one of the most efficient cars in India. And unlike the Camry, okay, there's a big breaker where the engine actually powers the wheels. Here they've kind of eliminated that. The result is absolute fantastic smoothness and refinement in the way this car is. Like really smooth, really refined. Only thing is when you get hard on the throttle, then that sort of a rubber band effect sort of a feel comes. It uses an eCVT box, so basically that it's a direct drive because it's using the electric motor that doesn't have a gearbox. But when the engine directly powers the wheels, then is when the clutch comes into play. And it's a eCVT unit, again road departure mitigation activated. So it makes this sound for the same, and it's turned off. Like I don't understand, if it doesn't like something, it's just like मैं बंद कर देता हूँ, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा. Anyways, body roll is decently well contained, and braking performance is improved because you've got rear disc. You're going to come to a halt right away. सीधा ना पक्का? हाँ. You can't hear anything right now. There's an econ mode. I'm just going to press that and we are off. I'm not going to accelerate because the engine noise can't be heard because the engine is sleeping at the moment. It's working on pure EV mode. Yeah, it's working on pure EV mode. Let's see what speed it can do. So lightly on the throttle I'm going to get. By the way, it's a self-charging hybrid and it has been optimized to work best at 2000 RPM. The fuel efficiency, of course. And when you drive it, when the engine is spinning around 2000 RPM, that is when it's going to be the most efficient. Okay, there the engine kicks in. So there are actually 3 drive modes. There's a drive mode, there's an econ mode, which is economy mode, and there's a B mode here. B, I think, is for braking. That happens to be for, for the regenerative braking, of course. And I think I've taken a wrong turn, so we've kind of reached a dead end, which gives me the opportunity to show you how good the turning radius is of this car. Okay, it keeps on giving me this warning, this thing is activated, road departure mitigation and all this stuff. Honda just used some fancy terms for what is basically some of the ADAS functions in this car. And let me tell you something, that you can drive this car spiritedly, but it's all about efficiency. And trust me on this, I am hugely against electric cars because the charging infrastructure is not there. But this Honda City Hybrid has hugely impressed me. Like Honda has done a fantastic job by offering something which is practical and usable, because it's self-charging hybrid. I don't have to look for a charging port. The car does it on its own. The engine obviously is responsible to charge the battery of this car, and everything works so well and fantastic that पता ही नहीं चलता क्या हो रहा है. Anyways, let's get into B mode at the moment, which is for regenerative braking. Now there are 3 modes for regenerative braking. So right now I have put it on the maximum, which means that we're going to speed up a bit. Let me reach a speed of around 60 kilometers per hour. I leave the throttle completely. Regen kicks in right now. It doesn't decelerate very fast, so it's decelerating right now. So that's like almost we've reached like 38 kilometers per hour. It will come to a halt probably, or maybe start crawling at lower speed, so which is going to come to the side, turn on the hazard lights and see what is the speed it will come to using the regenerative braking. Yeah, I've not applied the brakes at all after 60 kilometers per hour. The car is just slowing down. So there are 3 modes for regen. I'm on maximum, and basically you can use the paddles to alter that. So by using the left paddle, you can go to the maximum one, and using the right paddles, you can go to the minimum one. And basically you can do sort of one pedal driving. So it's going to cruise at 7 kilometers per hour. To stop the car, you will have to brake for sure. So this is the regenerative braking, which actually puts some energy back into the battery to charge it as well. And here we are going to come to a halt completely. Now I'm going to get into drive mode, and left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, econ mode off, revving the motor, and off we go. Finally some wheel spin. So yeah, it has a power control unit which decides which drive mode the car should be in, whether it should be on pure EV mode, and it switches so effortlessly, पता ही नहीं चलता. मतलब बहुत ही next level smoothness है इस car में. Now the thing is, Honda is giving a warranty of 3 years or unlimited kilometers on this car, and this can be extended to 5 years, unlimited kilometers. Yeah, you have to pay for that, or 10 years, 1,20,000 kilometers. That is for the car. And for the battery, it comes with 8 years, 1,60,000 kilometers. Now, this brings me to the most important other factor of this car, which we have not seen yet, which happens to be Honda Sensing, which is basically ADAS. So it has got 5 functions for ADAS. I'm just going to use the wipers because I can. Okay. One is forward collision warning, then there is automatic emergency braking, there's lane departure warning, there's lane keep assist, and then of course there's adaptive cruise control. So all this works with this camera right here. It does not get any radars, and the system works for the most part. Only thing is sometimes it just cancels the system. It says I'm turning off. हो गया, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा, because it's always like एक बार तुमने मेरी बात नहीं सुनी. Like supposing, let's try lane departure warning. So here lane is there, but the marking is not that great, so we're just going to speed up a bit. Yeah, the ride is actually quite nice. Very well judged ride on this car. Steering is also good enough. Okay, it's not as dynamic as older Honda Cities, of course, but yeah, steering is nice. It's easy to twirl at lower speed, so that's not a problem. Like here, I'm going to take a U-turn. Just see this one hand operation. Body roll is there, but yeah, it's decently well contained, so it's a fun car to drive. But because the VTEC character is completely gone from this car, because it doesn't make that sound which a VTEC motor does, you just don't want to push it hard as such. Now I was talking about a forward collision warning, but before that we are going to turn on cruise control. Here cruise control is activated. I'm just going to increase the speed here, and I can decide how much distance I want to maintain with the car ahead. So I can decide 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths, or 1 car length, and I've just maintained 3 car lengths. And the speed I've decided is, let's drive it 80 kilometers per hour. So adaptive cruise control is turned on at the moment. Yeah, there that is the forward collision warning. Bhai, adaptive cruise control mein brake to maro yaar. I don't know why it is not braking in adaptive cruise control, but yeah, it should do that. So let's turn on and off the adaptive cruise control. Here I'm just going to put a speed of, say, maybe 60 kilometers per hour. That car ahead is our target, 60 kilometers per hour. Let's see what does it do. It is supposed to decelerate when it sees something in its line of sight. Yeah, it is doing that. So it's maintaining a speed of 57 kilometers per hour because it knows that there's a car ahead. Let me increase the speed to maybe 70 kilometers per hour. Yeah, it's increasing the pace because that car is also speeding. So we'll just increase it to 80 kilometers per hour probably. And because the car is ahead, it's just maintaining the speed with the car ahead. That is the adaptive cruise control. I'm just going to get out of their line of sight. Then it realizes that, accelerates, goes to 80 kilometers per hour. So yeah, adaptive cruise control works nicely. No issues on that front. And we're just going to get here. Yeah, there. It's applying brakes. Fantastic. Very well judged system. I like it. Look at the way it's slowing down. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Then it's saying cruise control cancel, speed too low. So there's some restriction of the speeds also. I think lane departure warning works after 72 kilometers per hour. Then lane keep assist works. Okay, forget all those numbers. But yeah, there is a minimum speed you need to maintain. So adaptive cruise control tested. Yes, that's done, Faisal. Okay, now next one is lane keep assist and lane departure warning, which both are similar systems which are associated with each other. One basically warns you are leaving the lane. The other one is like, रहने दो, तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, हम तुम्हारी गाड़ी सही लेन में ले आएंगे. So it basically moves the steering wheel. That's what it does. Okay, and forward collision warning also you guys saw. So basically forward collision warning is that it will tell you, there. It is blinking and telling me that you're going to collide with a truck ahead, so please take care of it. And in case I do not brake, it will brake on its own. It's known as automatic emergency braking. Now Honda's terms are slightly different than mine, but I'm using the rather global terms. And now we are going to we are going to test the lane keep assist function of this car, which does work decently well. Yeah, it does actually. Okay, speed breaker ahead, no problem. Soft suspension, we kind of glide over it, but that slight bouncy effect obviously comes into play. So here we are. Where is the lane? Where are the lane markings when you need them the most? They are, but they are kind of vanished. So I think here we are going to be able to read the lane markings, and there we are. Come on, car, read it. Show me that you've got an advanced camera. No, it's not reading right now. It's just not reading. It's so disappointing in front of the camera. Always this car does that. Every car does that. When camera on, it will just fail to perform. It's like that kid who you're proud of and you're like showing that stunts or some trick he can do to everybody, and when it happens, he's not able to pull it off. That's what's happening right now with me. Okay, I think we need to up the pace a bit. Maybe keep it around 80 kilometers, 72 k upar to chalo. Yeah, here, come on, lane keep. Yeah, there. You can see that. Just going to maintain some speed so that the car is able. Okay, it says steering required. मैं नहीं दूंगा steering. घुमाओ क्या कर रही हो? Okay, so yeah, that safety system is there, so you don't leave everything to the car. You also participate in the driving effort. So yeah, we're going to leave a lane, not lane a leave. So let's try and go to the left side and let's see if that works. Come on. Yeah. It's not very reactive a system as such. Sometimes it takes its own sweet time and says, oh, you know what, I'm sleeping, khud se kar lo tum aaj. So overall, I'm glad that Honda's finally got ADAS systems, and I'm really happy with the car. I think it's fantastic. Like fuel efficiency, absolutely nailed it, Honda. Wow. Okay. And this is a car company which actually has diesels, yet it's offering us hybrids. That just shows the level of, smartness, or maybe love for keeping people's pockets heavy and not lightening them by making them spend a lot on fuel. That's fantastic. Because even like I think in terms of the whole range of engines and powertrains, Honda has nailed it. So you've got a fantastic VTEC petrol motor, which obviously revs the nuts out to 7,000 RPM. You got a decent diesel engine, which is very frugal, and now you've got a hybrid in the city. Come on, competition, you need to catch up because the city is just unmatched. Honda might not make the best cars in all segments, but when it comes to this segment, the city, unbeatable, absolutely fantabulous. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Oh, by the way, after 120 kilometers per hour, when the engine is driving the wheels directly, you don't even realize it. Sub-semi, the way the whole system is done, fantabulous. By the way, the price of the Honda City Petrol CVT top end is rupees 18 lakhs, 17 lakhs 90,000 on road Mumbai, and this car will come at a premium of around 3 to 4 lakhs. So, iski on road price hogi around 22 lakh rupees. Okay, yes, it's expensive, but this is the most affordable real hybrid car. Okay, unlike the fake hybrids, which are just like, you know, I don't want to say Maruti or SHVS right now, but you guys get the drift. So, guys, this is my vlog of the Honda City Hybrid. It's not as exciting as a pure petrol Honda VTEC motor, but trust me, the fuel efficiency and the smoothness and the way this technology works, fantabulous. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's a like button, and don't you forget to check out this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve Elements Pro Silver. You can click here on the top right to get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Bye bye.